you will save so much time and money and just build your business in a so much more peaceful way when you really do the things that I'm going to talk about in this video. So, just to give some context, I've been kind of in it lately where I've been really busy. I'm so allergic to being busy. I really am. I want a slow and calm life. And for the most part, I've really built that for myself, but I created a deadline for myself, um, like a traveling deadline. So I kind of need to like get out of here in a couple days. And I just have a number of things that have to get done, such as packing. It's just a normal part. I don't want that to drag on forever, but I digress. It always just kind of stresses me out, any kind of a deadline, even a self-imposed fun one. And um, I found myself kind of reverting back to some old habits. I got on Instagram the other day and today actually, I was getting on there. I don't even know what. No, I was making a post. I know why. And so I scrolled for a few minutes and I realized how uncomfortable even just being on that platform makes me still. I don't necessarily think that Instagram, well, who knows? Maybe it is a little evil, but I'm not saying that it is. It's just you have to feel that out for yourself. I just know that for me, it just always kind of makes me uncomfortable and throws me off. And so it's like really important to clock that for yourself. But it did give me a little bit of a topic to talk about and to think about how different my mindset is and how different my behavior is when it comes to these things. So, have you ever been scrolling through and maybe you've been following somebody for a while who's like a business guru and they're doing really well, and maybe like there's some people on there that I've been following for years, and they were making seven figures like 5 years ago, and and I imagine they still are, um, making the sevens and eight figures now, and they're talking about like how in their business they are, this one girl was talking about how she has client. Now the general gist of her message was perfectly fine and awesome, and it was that working for 2 hours, maybe you've even seen this post and you'll know exactly who I'm talking about, but what she is saying is that working for 2 hours a day or 2 hours a week even on something that is just a grind, and you hate it, is just such a different energy than working 8 hours a day on things that you love, that you find nourishing, and that you just like, the more you do it, the more you want to do it. And I 100% agree with that. That is like precisely how I want to live my life. I know that making these videos right now, it just feels like the more I do it, the more I want to do it, which is kind of partly why I'm a little like riled up right now, because there's these other things that have a time deadline and I can't put as much time into making these videos as I really would desire to, but it's temporary. I know that just in a few days this whole situation's going to change. But so that's the gist of what she was saying. And then she went on to say, like, she also talked about how the pricing of things, feeling super aligned and feeling really good about your pricing. And then she went on to say, my clients pay my premium prices happily, and it's just great and beautiful. And that's wonderful. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I think that an older version of me would have seen that and thought like, you know, does that mean I really need to do high ticket things and charge really high prices for things in order to be successful? And should I be getting coaching around that mindset just so that I can become the kind of person who feels comfortable charging these high amounts of money? And the answer is no, you don't have to do that. Like, you can be successful doing things and pricing things however you want to. What the really boiled down to, what I really understand now, is that You just need to know how you want to feel about your pricing and decide that you get to be abundantly successful at that. And so I went through kind of a journey to where I am now with desiring deeply a donation-based business. And once again, I'm just at the beginning here. It doesn't mean I will never charge a fixed price for anything. But part of that journey was finding a few people who were wildly successful doing low ticket items or doing low ticket offers. So they build their whole business around things that cost, $70, $27, $100, $400, nothing above like $300 or $400, and just having a lot of offerings around that price. And they build their whole business around that. And the way they market it is also totally different. There's what I want to convince you of is that you can be successful at anything, because firstly, you have to start from the understanding of what a powerful being you are and that you really can have anything. Does that mean that you don't learn stuff, you don't learn techniques, and you don't learn kind of some strategies like, how to do good storytelling or how to write in a good way, or I don't want to say a good way, it's not even the right way, in a compelling way, in a persuasive way. But really, and it takes some trial and error to decide how it is that you like to do it. Would you like to just turn on your video camera and just speak to the camera? Surely you've seen people that do this. I know I have. I see it all the time. A lot of the people I follow do that very thing. It takes them almost no time to actually create their YouTube content, because they have the idea, they turn on the camera, they talk to the camera. And then I see others that will take a whole week to write out carefully their whole YouTube script. And I think that they're both beautiful, and I think it's worth experimenting with those things to see what you like and what is most fulfilling to you. And maybe you do a combination of both. So that's the first thing that I want to say, is that just when you see these things out there on the internet, I know some of you are going to totally understand what I'm talking about, that when you see those things on the internet, check that voice inside that is saying, am I doing it wrong? Like, I thought I was good on this, and now I'm not so sure. Now I'm thinking that this person knows the answers, and I don't know what I'm doing and it's going to take me so much longer, and maybe I'm not having enough self-worth because I'm not charging high ticket amounts of money for things, or it's going to be a lot more work to sell lower ticket things, or it's going to be a lot more work to get people to donate money to me because they just simply appreciate the change that I've been able to create in their lives. And then another story, and then I will get to kind of what I think is the practical solutions to these things. So the same scrolling session, I came across another creator that I had been following for years, and she was saying something like, I feel so bad for all of you women who are saying next time I'll join, your program. She has apparently a program where it's probably like a cohort type thing where you want to get in the group and go through it a specific time. So they don't have the time in that, what do I want to say? It's only open for enrollment at specific times. So if you don't join by a certain deadline, then you've missed that one and you have to wait until the next time. And she's saying I just want you to admit to yourself that you're just scared. And I know that if you were to join my program right now, that you would, we would be able to get your business in to where it needs to be within 2 months. And maybe she's right. Maybe you will be able to get exactly what you want, and she just knows how effective she is. But what I want to say about that is that I've joined programs like that before. And I guess it's it's always a pause and checking in with yourself. And this is if you want to say there's a practical step, this is the very number one most important thing, is if you were to react to things like that with silence, and it doesn't even always have to be the reaction to things, but if you make time for yourself every single day, you can call it meditation. I just like to call it sitting in silence with yourself. I do at least 20 minutes every day. And I also take extra breaks throughout the day. When I'm feeling really wound up, I say, I don't care what's going on out here or in here. I'm doing this now. I'm just going to stop. And I'm going to be with what's going on in here. It may or may not produce a feeling of relief, but it does produce a feeling of showing up for myself, and that you are literally doing something. I get this from one of my most, I guess you could say, influential teachers, mentors, if you want to call it that. I can't even really describe her work that way, but it's Oracle Girl, oraclegirl.org. Jaqueline Faye-Hobbs. I mean, she is a unique being, and it's really just about being in her space and in her energy. I can't really describe it so much more than that. You should go and check out her website. I'll link it below. But what she says is that what you're doing is you're absorbing pure love. And that is what you are actually built to do. That's what your physical body mechanism is designed to do, and the way to do it is to just sit and not get in the way, basically, and then just trust whatever comes from there. So that's my first thing. And so what I want to say is that I've had that experience of joining programs, and I'm not saying that they were all necessarily bad, but the problem can be that you join a program and you think like, okay, well, I really do want to have these results in 2 months instead of 8 months from now or a year from now. I really want to have the results right now. But what I have found, and probably maybe you've had this experience as well, but what I've found is that when I join things like that from that kind of energy, that like, well, if this will help me get there faster, then yes, I'll do it. I will invest in myself because I need the support of this group and the support of this person, and that will help me. And if it's just stop and question that first, because what I found to happen sometimes is that it puts a lot of pressure on it to do what they are saying to do because they are successful. And so instead of actually sitting with yourself and deciding what you truly want from your total place of love and abundance, and then waiting until the movement to act comes, instead of just trying a few things and being able to discern for yourself what feels like alive for you, you instead end up in this group where you have kind of accountability, right? So, and I guess there's nothing wrong with accountability. It's kind of hard to like articulate exactly what I'm saying, but to me, oftentimes what accountability meant is it was almost like a form of, it was almost like a fear of punishment. It was a fear of, oh, I can't face this group of people in this group that I'm in and tell them that I didn't do the things that I said I was going to do. Like, here are my goals for this week. I am going to post, 5 Instagram reels. And then you have to kind of talk to the people and tell them, like, explain to them why you didn't do it. And is there value in that? Maybe, but like, I just want to say that I truly, truly believe that there's another way. that you can be accountable to yourself. You can say, well, you know what, I didn't do it because it didn't really feel right. And I preferred this week to actually rest and spend time in nature and hang out with my dog. And I had maybe some practical things I had to do. I had to clean up my house. I decided to organize my sock drawer instead, whatever. And just answering to yourself, your own authority, instead of like placing it out there. I know that that's not ostensibly the goal of groups like this or coaching groups or any kind of accountability is to, for them to tell you what to do, but oftentimes that can be the feeling of it. And so that is why in my business or in this channel, this creation that I'm making right now, I don't want to be that for you. I don't want to be the person that you need support from. I want you to feel empowered to support yourself. And I have created a tool that I love, which I think is I think it's just so freaking awesome. Not the thing that I created. I mean, yes, the course that I created is great, but but bullet journaling is not something that I made up myself. It's just a process that I have used to really be accountable to myself. And what it does is it helps me to see that I am being accountable to myself. I am not making myself hustle and grind just to try to get there faster in my business. I am first prioritizing sitting in silence with myself, and then I'm prioritizing a small handful of things that bring me joy and peace, such as walking my dog, such as rock climbing, such as those are the two biggest ones, but there's a number of other things, such as making time for pleasure of any kind, hanging out with friends, whatever it is, right? And making some movements towards my actual goals, for lack of a better word. I kind of don't even love the word goals, to be honest with you. But making movement towards the things that actually do bring me joy and fulfillment, even when they're just small, boring things. I wanted to have a beautiful house, and so today my whole list of things to do is to go buy some screws at the store so that I can hang the wireless router on the wall so that it's not cluttering up my visual space on top of my TV stand. Those are the kinds of things that I legitimately want to do for myself, and they are important. And I'm not going to put it all off. And also, actually organizing and decluttering in your regular life and your digital life as well. So your camera roll, your hard drive, your finances, tackling that bookkeeping, whatever. Making time for all of those things is what's important to me. It's a very big, so this is why I talk about bullet journaling so much, because it is the tool that has really allowed me to embody living that peaceful, slower life right now, and deciding that any business venture moving forward is going to fit into that lifestyle that I've already created and already committed to right now. And it is. I was just sitting down to do a meditation, and usually I wouldn't interrupt myself, but I just kind of I got the urge that I just wanted to record this video. So I'm doing it right now. I'm going to record this video for a while. I'm going to finish my meditation, and then I'm going to do the other thing, the other kind of boring task that I have to do today. This is what I was saying, that whole getting ready to leave tasks. But I feel like so good and aligned. And so that's what I'm saying is when you just slow down, and then the movement towards what you want to do is like you can barely keep yourself from doing it. Like it's such a strong it's such a strong, like, just full body movement towards that. And if you will be patient and slow down and wait for that feeling and just trust that it will come, then you will waste so much less time, so much less money on, coaching programs and courses and things like that. Those things are not bad, right? And, I still do those things. Sometimes I buy courses, but I know I buy far fewer of them because I know now that especially when there is kind of a high pressure tactic, I'm like, ugh, I don't like it. And I know for sure that I've bought a course before where they just said, here's the course that I'm offering. It is $500. And it took me, maybe a month and a half before I actually bought it. But I knew immediately I wanted to because I had been following that creator for a while. I loved her work. I've been honestly wanting her to make a course like this, and I'd just been waiting for it. But I appreciated that I got to take the time until it felt aligned for me to actually like buy the thing, right? And that is the way that I would want to do my business. I that's me personally. I don't want to do it in any other way. I don't want to use high pressure sales tactics. I don't want to create FOMO. I don't want to do any of those things. And I know because I'm the creator of my reality, and I'm a creator of like not even like my own personal reality, but like of a new way of being, that I will only move from this way. And this comes from, just the sitting in silence, the sitting and really tapping into the feeling of what it's like to already have a business and even a whole economy that operates in this way, and trusting that the actions that I have to take towards that are going to come, and they are going to come naturally. And in that way, I get to tune out so much noise, so much like, oh, you can make your first sale tomorrow if you start paid advertisements today. And I'm like, no, thank you. Nothing wrong, again, with paid advertisements. It's just, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to like spend my time getting good at paid advertisements. I'm not afraid of spending the money. I just don't, but that's just not how I want to spend my time and energy. So I become super discerning about how I will spend my time and energy. And it will only be on the highest ideal for myself, that reality that I've already experienced in here of how I want my business to look and feel. I will only do things that are in alignment with that. And sometimes those things aren't fun. Sometimes they're pretty boring. But I still, on some level know that they are in alignment. Yes, so what I highly desire for you guys is to, if you feel called, go check out my bullet journaling course. If you're the type of person who just like wants to be accountable to yourself, wants a slower life, loves to have an analog tool to keep you organized so you just feel on top of your life how it is now, and stop missing your appointments, stop missing payments for things and having to pay extra fees, stop forgetting to call people back and respond to emails and all those kind of things, so that you just like you feel on top of your life as it is now, so you're not always just like rushing out there to the next shiniest thing. And you like things that are pretty. You want to be delighted when you look at it every day, because it is like, oh, this is my life. This is my life becoming exactly what I want it to be. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? Right? So go ahead and check it out in the link below.